Hello and welcome to Spotlight on Asset for television, where we spotlight people doing remarkable things in different fields of endeavors. Whether you're an entrepreneur, just an educator, or just anything that you're doing to make sure that there is change in your people or your community, you've got a platform to come speak. And today, our spotlight falls on someone I call my sister. She's doing a lot. She's in the development space. She's a lifelong learner and advocate for sustainable development who is doing a lot in terms of the boy child, which I see as remarkable because the boy child is a neglected, I think, gender in a way that as Africans, when it is boy, they can freely do anything without proper guidance. And no one else but Anna Pai.
Thank you.
Welcome to Spotlight on today.
Thank you for having me here.
Thank you so much for your time. And because this is a special subject to me, when you say boy child, for some time now, I like to really talk about the way to better the lives of a boy child. Because at the end, they are the ones that are linked to our girls and things go the ways that we don't really expect. Let's start from the beginning. As a person, where did the journey begin for you?
As a person, I'll say the journey has been with me all along. When you look at the way, when you're a fair person and you're a critical thinker and you see the way things are being done, I mean, it will strike you differently. So in as much as we pay attention to the girl child, you know, we want her to turn out well and all of that, there's a way that the boys behave that I just feel that if we give them that much attention as well, there will be a balancing. You know, they'll turn out better. So the journey began from way back when you see, I'll say this, my dad will buy me some stuff and say, oh, don't let them see it. Sometimes it could just be juice. So I feel special at that moment, but then I think deep and I'm like, why does he not want them to see it? You know, so sometimes it's not that it's not enough. And then what's the result if they do see it? So they are going to feel that neglect. They are going to feel they are not that special and all of that. So that's just my experience, one of my experience with things as simple as juice or some toys and stuff. But then in other homes, it could be worse. You know, it could be treatment, behavioral treatment or corrections, you know, correcting a child and all of that. So there's a way we behave to the boy that will harden him, you know, instead of correcting him in love and all of that. So at the end of the day, all of this put together has repercussions on the boy, but then he will spill it out on any other person.
Outside.
Yeah.
Well, I always like to link things to the beginning, where the passion started from. Because as for me, experiences in life showed me that there's a skewed way that we treat the boys and we don't give the girls, even from birth. Once you give birth, the first thing people ask you is a boy or a girl. And when you say a boy, there is a different excitement when you say it's a girl. I think that's where the problem is. I'm going to address it from the root.
From the root.
And because you are a development advocate and also a public servant and a lifelong learner committed to education, leadership, and sustainable development, where do you think we need to start from now because of the situation that we're in already?
Okay, so we actually need to start from the home. We need to start from the home. But unfortunately, like I always say, there are a lot of adults that have gotten married and have had children and they don't have any business in that venture, right? Because they also don't know any better. So in essence, you can't give what you don't have. So we need to start from the home front. However, at the NGO, we already work with boys aged 10 to 19 because the style with which we operate cannot really work for the parents because they are already, you know, parents. They have a lot of responsibilities to take care of. And so they can't, you know, devote that much time that the boys have to get these trainings that we give to them. However, we do organize like seminars for the parents, for those that have the time and they feel there's a need to be part of it. Anyways, the awareness is going out there. And a lot more people are realizing they need some of these skills that we're teaching the boys. And we need to, it's a hands-on thing. Before the child gets to school, he's leaving the home. So even if the child is taught in school and he comes back home and there's no reinforcement at home, then it's not really going to work. So even with what we do, we always ask the parents to come around. We brush them up as to what we're teaching the children, because when they get back home, there needs to be that reinforcement. They need to understand what exactly we're teaching them so they can reinforce and look out for us so that the boys don't deviate. So that's why we take as much as 6 months, because it's quite enough time to remold a child's
Especially
character.
because they're children, so there's still room for really remolding. When you talk about development and you've laid a foundation to say it started right from some treatment that you bought from that. Now let's look at what spurred you into starting a foundation for the boys. The Yargote Foundation for Children, Youth and Women Development.
Yeah.
A non-profit committed to empowering the boy child, promoting gender balance and fostering sustainable community development across Nigeria.
Right.
What was your driving force?
So when we started initially, we were also dealing with women and girls as usual. There's a lot of commitment towards that area. But the issues that kept coming up as we worked with the women and girls, we realized that we were waiting for these issues to happen and then we react to them. However, most of them can be prevented. And so some of them, have to do with the boys and the men. And like we said earlier, if you know better, you act better. So for a man that knows better, he won't go raping a girl, getting a girl pregnant, a school girl. If he knows better, he will realize that that could end her school career and school life and, alter her life trajectory.
Entirely.
Yes. And a man that also knows better will not violate his woman, will not, met out any kind of violence, either physical, verbal, financial, or whatever it is. When you're a complete man, you will know to treat your woman better because the family will be better off for it. So that was the turning point when we realized we could be proactive
Instead of reacting.
instead of being reactive. And so we could prevent some of this altering of life trajectory for some girls. We could prevent, the domestic violence that leads to women dying, because some men beat their wives to death, or starve them and all of that. When we realized that it was going to be easier and life-saving, to prevent some of these things from happening, that was when the switch happened. And we said, you know what, let's break out of the hole. Other people can go on with the girl child and women folk empowerment and stuff, but let's begin to look at the issue from the root, because the women have a lot of issues that are kind of directly related to the man. So without the man getting involved, without the man perpetuating some of these things, the woman will be fine. So the ultimate beneficiary of this project is the woman and the girl.
In the long run.
In the long
So
run.
for the fact that you started Yargote Foundation, I probably take us through the journey of starting it. Like I said, what was the thing that ticked it for you to say, I'm starting the Yargote Foundation? And then the re-engineering, see, now we're focusing on the boys. What drove you into it? Re-engineering it, you've mentioned some path.
Yeah.
And what do you think the future would be like, considering that there are resources all across the globe that serves the girl child? And to make sure, if you say International Boy Child Day, who is talking about it more? If it's the girl child thing, woman
It's
thing,
all over the
it's
place.
all over the place.
Yeah.
It's a UN kind of set aside thing. So in weaving all of this together and making sure you get the recognition, not for yourself, so that across the globe, the same attention given to girls will be given to boys.
All right. So I think this whole thing started way back from when I was in secondary school, because we lived in an underserved community, but we were privileged. So, we had television sets in our house, we had water running in our taps, and, we were privileged. So you see people having to come to our house to get water, in the evenings, people gather to watch TV and all of that. People would just eat. Our house was like a sanctuary of some sort that people just come to get respite and all. So, from there, I will always have a group of children in my house. And there were times that I came across one of the pictures. I'll bake, I'll cook, I'll be the DJ, I'll be the MC, I'll be the photographer and all. I'll be the decorator. I'll just put everything together and we'll just have a party. I love parties. And my parents, no, and my parents. That was way back when I was even in secondary school. Yes. So, it continued gradually. I'll just go to communities. I even did all of this immunization stuff. I love to go to underserved communities to, volunteer my time and all. Yeah. So over the years, people were like, oh, you're already doing this thing, you need to get it registered, make it legal and all of that. I reluctantly registered this NGO in 2017. Reluctantly, but I'm happy now I did at that time. So, like I said earlier, we continued on the girls and women, path. But along the line, you see, beyond the effect of the boy child on the girl and women, the boy child is becoming an endangered species. Sometimes when you see a truck coming from the north, you see young men, all lumped up, loaded on these trucks. And the way some of them behave up there, it's like they have a spare life somewhere. But that is what they know. That's what they know. To them, it's even fun, and there's another fundamental issue going on. Last week or so, thereabout, Dangote was talking about people, rich Nigerians having to, or urging them to invest instead of buying private jets and all. There's a problem because a lot of people that have the money to invest are actually afraid of investing because of the manpower, the workforce. They have the money to buy the equipment. They have the space to site the equipment, to site the factories and all of that. But what happens afterwards? You employ people and you run it down. Some people want to just steal your money. Some people want to just sabotage. Even Dangote himself have experienced quite a number of sabotage situations there and experiences. So there's a gap in the workforce. And for factories and industries, majority of the workforce there are men. So you might be a very good engineer or a very good technician or whatever, but you don't have good time management skills. You don't have good communication skills. You don't have empathy. Because if you have empathy, you won't go and sabotage somebody's efforts in even employing you in the first place. You will realize that if you mess this up, it's going to even tell on you because you'll be out of job. But people don't care. They just act out what they know.
That's the gap.
So that's another, but there are so many gaps actually. But that's one major gap that is affecting the national development.
And you mentioned that they're endangered species.
Yes.
They're becoming endangered species.
They're becoming endangered species because the rate or the rise in substance abuse is alarming. And maybe it's underreported, but a lot of boys are dying due to substance abuse.
Because society doesn't want you to report cases like that.
Yeah.
It's a boy, no emotions.
Well, some people just die and then they just get buried. The authorities don't have to know. And because we're in the part of the world where we don't really do autopsies, when people die. So sometimes people just maybe convulse and die. There was a situation where I saw a young boy in the market convulsing and stuff, foam was coming out of his mouth. And I was panicking and I was shouting, help him, help him. And everybody was just laughing. And I was like, what's going on? He needs help. Is there any pharmacy or any hospital around? And they said, oh, don't worry. After a while, he will stand up. That he just took some, drugs, substance. And so it was like a norm. And I was panicking. And when I looked around, I was the only one panicking because it's a normal thing now. So that, situation could go the other way.
That's disheartening.
It could go the other way. That was, Taco Market.
Recently.
Yeah. It could go the other way because if you're used to taking it, getting that reaction and standing up, there might be a day that something will just go wrong internally and he wouldn't get up. And they will just take him straight to the grave. And that's it.
That's sad.
So that's just one. Then the surge in ritual killings You know, the young boys today don't want to really work hard and go to school.
Instant
They just want
gratification.
instant gratification. So they'll say, go and bring this person, go and bring this body part and all of that. So they just go and kill.
Someone.
And eventually you get arrested because they are not even wise enough to maybe plan the operation in a way that, you know, they just leave loose ends. So it's easy to arrest.
Just
and they
like the
end up
recent
in
thing with
prison.
a man,
Yeah.
a young man that killed a lady that was supposedly the girlfriend or just a stranger. That's crazy. It's a lot. I think that's a topic to explore in
Yeah.
terms of awareness, substance abuse, the endangered species.
Yes.
What are those challenges that the society need to address broadly
Yeah.
so that it would be like a kind of wake up call to say,
Yeah.
this is what we need to do to change the narrative in that regard. I think that's a lot. I'm trying to digest all of that because there is coldness in the society. Someone is doing something repeatedly, and the society that we used to know used to be anybody's child is everyone's child.
Now it's about profit making. Everything now is about profit making. If it isn't so, tell me why a shop owner will see a 5-year-old coming to buy alcohol or any
sell.
substance and they'll sell.
sell.
You can go to some pharmacies and buy anything you want, and nobody's questioning anyone.
that's
So it's
something that we need
about profit making.
yeah.
And that's why it's easy for the young boys to
go.
abuse
I think
substances.
it's a larger society issue
Yeah.
that needs to be tackled from different perspectives.
Yep.
From my point, say for instance, why would anyone go over the counter and buy just any drugs? That's regulation issue,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And why would anyone, because of profit, endanger a 5-year-old or a 10-year-old? Because I saw some videos that there were boys that were like, they were not even teenagers that would go and buy cigarette to smoke, marijuana and all of that. So it's a systemic issue,
Yeah.
including the community.
And that's why at Yargote Foundation, we focus on teaching these young boys and young men soft skills,
which is underrated.
And everybody needs soft skills. Yeah. We believe strongly that with the soft skills topped with self-awareness, self-discovery, a child, a young boy, a young girl, whatever it is, can be able to take informed decisions on whatever aspect of life that they come across. You know, so we're teaching them critical thinking, we're teaching them decision making, we're teaching them discipline, patriotism, emotional intelligence, empathy, hygiene, communication, time management. We're trying to build a whole man. So if your friends come to you and say, oh, let's go and smoke this stuff, you already know the right decision to take. You can think critically and say, oh, this could lead to this and that and that. So if another person comes with a different trajectory, whatever it is, you will fit in because you already can think critically and take an informed decision. So at Yargote Foundation, we're not focused on one aspect. We want to teach the whole of the soft skills so that it affects your academics positively. As you grow, it affects your relationship with peers. It affects your relationship with the opposite sex, with your parents, with your teachers. It affects every decision you're going to take as you grow and at every stage in your life. And you grow with it. You can transfer it to your own children. So it's a lifelong learning for the boys.
So what is the strategy you employ in getting these boys, the most underserved, that need these things the most?
So for now we identify underserved communities. We have a lot of them. I mean, and I'll add that even the boys in served communities need this intervention. But because we can't serve everybody at the same time, we're now focused on the underserved communities for now. So we identify a community, we do the stakeholders engagement, and we're able to pick out the boys that we need to work with or that need the intervention the most. However, it doesn't always follow that we pick a certain number of boys and we can't force them. So from the onset, we know we're going to lose some out due to lack of interest or not really fully grabbing what we're on about. Youthful exuberance. Yes, we've seen that. Or the fact that some of them need to actually support their parents. 6 months is a long time. well, I wouldn't even call it child labor per se, but due to the economic situation of the country, they probably need to follow them to the farm, which is some form of training on its own, you know, because I've followed my parents to the farm and today I can farm
That's
anything.
totally different.
That's
Child
totally,
labor.
yeah, it's totally different. Some of them need to support them in their shops after school because that's like their
Means of
livelihood, yeah. So we already will project that we are starting with so number, but we hope that at least we should end with so number.
Yeah.
So yeah, but going forward, we have a project we're proposing to build a safe space for the boy child, a safe space and resource center, because the safe space in quotes that we have is the correctional facilities and the rehabilitation centers, which for you to gain admission into those places, you must have committed a crime or abused. Yes, you get admitted.
To get
so,
into it, yeah.
So you must have abused substances and you must have gone overboard. But we are saying that we have, because when you go to the correctional facilities or rehabilitation centers, you have some very fantastic, bright-brained individuals that are holed up in there. So we are saying you can be bright, you can be all that you need to be, and you don't have to tilt to the other end. So there's no safe space for boys in Nigeria. So we're proposing that when we have this safe space, you can be a diamond in the rough. We'll go fish you out, bring you to this place, harness your potentials, and work on your talents and become productive.
Let's go on a quick short break. When we return, we'll take it off from what the resource center or safe space for the boys really means. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back. If you're just joining us, it's still Spotlight on S24 television, and we've been speaking to a very resourceful person on very important topic of the boy child, which has been doing well and gracefully. Welcome back, my sister, on this episode.
Thank you.
Now let's go back to the resource center or safe space for boys, which you properly mentioned that is not available in Nigeria, if not for the one that you must commit a crime to go there.
To get admitted.
Yes, to get admitted, because it looks like it's an institution of sorts.
It is, of course.
Okay, now, moving from just a foundation to building a safe space for the boys to make sure you tap into their potential so they will really use it well to better themselves and then the society at large. How do you intend to fund this gigantic project?
Aha, okay. So it's a huge project, but I believe that we have Nigerians that can be, and I hope will be, magnanimous enough to support us. It's a very simple arithmetic that I can do. From the project, from the design that we have now, it's not too big a place. The estimate that we've gotten now to build up the place is like 540 million.
Okay.
And from my head, if we have like 108,000 Nigerians out of 200 million, give us 5,000 naira each, we would have achieved our target. So this is a target that we can meet in a day. If Nigerians really want
properly, if you put strategy in place.
Yes. If Nigerians want to support us, we just need like 108,000 of us to just drop 5,000 naira. But again, we could have like 54,000 Nigerians drop 10,000, and we could also have like 27,000 drop 20,000, and we're good.
It's just strategy to make sure that really works. And what other avenues do you think you can
yes, we're going to reach out to well-meaning Nigerians to support, and we'll write to organizations, and we've gotten the space already. We've gotten the design already, so
the
at
space,
least
you've gotten a land free of charge, or you bought it.
We've gotten a space already.
Right.
Let's leave it at that.
I love that energy.
Yes, so it's going to be an exciting space because from the work we do with the boys currently, I spoke about reinforcement earlier on. The boys are very excited about the project. So for the boys that stay up to the first month of the project, we don't lose them anymore. We lose boys in the first week or two. By the third week, we have consistent boys to the end because they've come to realize that it's something very interesting and purposeful for their lives. We take the first month to talk about self-discovery. So in teaching them self-discovery, we teach them about their culture, which they have to work with us. They have to go back home and ask questions. What are our cultures from way back? What are our beliefs? What are our cultural foods or native food? What are some words in our language? What are our values? So we now have to work together to identify what their values are as individuals, as young men. Then we teach them about goals. So all of these are under self-discovery in the first month. So by the time we're done with the first month, they are hungry for more. They want to know what's coming. So they become consistent. However, like I said, if we have this safe space, we can even work with this boy for less the time. Because for now we work with them for just 2 hours every day because they will go to school. And for those that go to school, they will go to school. And when they come back, we meet with them in the evenings. But if we have them to ourselves, for like 2 months, we'll achieve all of the ones we're achieving now and more. Because it's going to be a resident kind of thing. It's going to be a regimented. Yes, it's going to be a regimented kind of.
What a place that you put all of these boys, or they all come from their various.
So for now, they all come from their various homes, and then we converge at a location where we pick at the beginning of the project for the year.
That's lovely. I was going to ask, for every beautiful projects like this, funding, sustainability is here. And because you called it a safe space for boys, is there a mechanism you've put in place for getting funding, or what do you intend to do to keep the place up and running? Because
that's when the safe space is established.
Ready, yeah?
When it's established, I'm so sure that we're going to have well-meaning Nigerians that we will always look up to, and they won't fail.
Yeah.
Because it's a noble project that everybody should key into. I tell you why. I always ask people, we all run our homes. We go back to underserved communities to get somebody to man the gate. We go back to underserved communities to get a housekeeper, a chef, and whatever it is. And I'll ask, can you employ somebody at your level to do any of these things for you? No. So we have to go back to the underserved communities, right? And so we're saying that the boy child can be anything he wants to be. Everybody can't be a medical doctor or an engineer or whatever it is. But when you go back to anywhere to get even a gate man, let him be the best at that. Let him be a complete human. Let him not come into your facility or your home and rape your daughter or sodomize your son or anything. Let him not harm anybody in your house. Let him know how to even talk to your guests when they arrive at the gate. That sort of thing, right? So when you have a housekeeper, let that person come into your house, hit the ground running, and not start with spoiling your microwave or vandalizing whatever it is because they don't know how to use these things. So that's what we're saying, that when we have these people come into our facility and out, they will go ahead. We can't employ them for the rest of their lives or make them millionaires and billionaires. We're just trying to make them better humans, balanced humans that will, be the best at whatever endeavor they choose to be at, or men that will go ahead and marry a woman and treat her the way she should be treated.
Well, again, always concerned about sustainability of projects of sort. And I know that there are other maybe points or mechanisms that you can put in place apart from well-meaning Nigerians. Because I understand from experience and also speaking to people out of experience, people who've embodied such kind of thing before, saying going back and asking for well-meaning people to support is not a sustainable path because people get tired. If you decide to do fundraising, if you do once, twice, the third time,
people get tired
and people get tired. So thinking about it in a business-like model might probably sort this out. So when
we
you
have
give
that
these
plan in
guys
place.
skills and soft skills or whatever skills you give them, and you're able to churn out products or services through them, that's another way. So probably you would look at that.
Yes, we have that checked into.
Oh, that's lovely. We can't wait to see the safe space for boys come to life.
Thank you.
And for final words for Yargote Foundation, where do you see yourself in the next decade?
So in the next decade, we want to see ourselves to have churned out peer mentors. We don't just want to work with boys and let them go back to, their communities. We want to see boys that have come or passed through Yargote Foundation go back and make meaningful impact in their communities.
Like them giving back.
Like them giving back, even by their behavior. We want other boys to want to emulate the way they behave because we expect that their characters should have been remolded. So we want to see, the multiplication of the efforts we have made on the boys that were able to intervene in their lives, in the lives of other boys, without those other boys having to come through us or pass through our intervention.
Yeah, and your message at this particular time, in this situation that we are in, it can be a message for the boys, for the society, or it can be an all-encompassing one that speaks to the core of everybody to see that they can be the change that we want to see in our society.
Okay, so I'll try and make it for everybody. We need to recoil into our shells and think critically and ask ourselves, why are we here
On
earth? What's our purpose? And how can we behave differently, to make a better moment for ourselves and for others around us? Because we're all in a hurry, greedy, and we all have some degree of greed in us. It's about me, it's about me. But please, let's just take a step back and think inwards and just ask ourselves, what can I do, no matter how little, to make a difference in the world? So this could be to parents, to boys, to
Just anyone.
leaders, to the president, to everybody.
Thank you so much. And before we go, let's do a quick rapid fire to see it's a simple answer, yes or no.
Okay.
I'll do this or not.
Yeah.
I'll take this action or not.
Okay.
Are you ready?
I am. Always.
If you're to choose who to give something tangible to now, boy or girl?
Boy, because I have two boys. And I'm the queen of boys.
Boy mom is giving the whole degree thing. Thank you. So if you had to choose between safe space for boys or safe space for girls, which would you choose?
I'll choose safe space for boys.
Soft skills or hard skill? You can say your reason.
Okay, I'll choose safe space for boys because when we get it right with the boys, the girls are safe.
Okay, soft or hard skill?
I'll go for soft skills first because it will enhance whatever hard skill you're learning.
New curriculum or rejigging the old curriculum?
I think it should be rejigged.
Why?
It should be rejigged and soft skills should be included and our history should be hammered on. And in hammering on our history, our cultures, our values and beliefs and all of that should be on the front burner.
CSOs or just normal foundations, NGOs?
A mix of both.
You can choose one.
I have to choose one?
Yes.
Okay, well, because I'll choose mine.
Of
NGO.
course, yes. Yeah. You would
Yes,
do
NGO, yeah.
Yeah, so if you are to choose for representation in the UN General Assembly today between a girl and a boy, who will you choose?
I'll choose me.
Well, boy or
Because
girl?
I have a lot to. I'll choose me. Yes, I'll choose me.
So that's a girl.
Because that's a girl. Because we're trying to reshape the mindset of the boys. So if I choose a boy, they might not really know exactly what to say and do and stuff.
Yeah.
So I'll choose a girl, and the girl is me.
Me, okay. Okay, public service.
Just be silent on that public servant.
Yeah, I'll definitely be. And that's it. We've been speaking to someone that really enlightened us on a lot of things that we need to do better as a people, as a society, and as African at large, because this is an African thing that the boy child need more attention, just like the girl child do. And because if we pay attention to the boy child, we're going to get a lot of things right. Thank you so much for joining us on Spotlight on
Thank
today.
you.
It's been an amazing conversation.
had
And
fun.
we look forward to bringing you over and over to talk
Oh,
about
sure.
this very important topic
Thank
on
you.
different dimensions
Thank
every
you.
time. Thank you so much for joining us. And bye for now. That's it for today.